Listen, motherhood is freaking messy, business is completely wild, and somewhere between the school runs, the sleepless nights, good Lord help us all, and chasing our own dreams, we're all asking, where's the fucking village? I'm Andrea Augustinucci, brand strategist and mom of two amazing kids, and the creative force behind Brand Embodied Agency. This podcast is where we'll strip away the highlight reels of life, dive into the real conversations about motherhood, entrepreneurship, and the beautiful chaos in between. You'll hear raw stories, real strategies, and honest conversations with women who aren't afraid to tell you the actual truth about what it takes to raise babies and build empires, because I have a secret, it's possible to do both. Here, we're not just asking where's the village, we're rebuilding it. Let's fucking go.
Hey, mama. Oh my God, I'm so excited for this episode. So I have the best guest on the show for today. It is the first adult guest I've had. And if you see my other episode, you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't, please go check it out. And I am just so honored to have her on as my first guest, because this is someone who's so extremely important in my life and a huge part of my village. It is my middle sister, Michelle. And I'm going to bring her on the stage now. Say hello. Hello. Michelle is currently downstairs in my kitchen recording this. So we are separated, so there's no feedback or anything, but we are just rolling with the punches. I've never had a guest before on StreamYard, so this is all good. This is all good. So
learning curve. I love it.
Yes, we're doing it live for everyone, because sometimes messy action is better than no action at all, right?
Very true.
Exactly. So we tried to have this episode probably like a month ago, Shell, right?
Yep.
More than that. Yeah. And then we got sick with the flu, then they got sick, and then we got sick, and blah, blah, blah. So here we are a month later, still recovering, at least for me. And I am just so excited because I think it's all in fucking divine timing, because at first we were like, we didn't like sit down and be like, what are we going to talk about? Right. Michelle's got things working. She's launching a lot that I am not going to disclose because that's not my story to tell. And at first I was like, okay, I love having guests on because I really want to help other women build their village and have people in their back pocket that they know as a resource and who they can work with and purchase from and all the things. So, Michelle is building a lot of things in the background, and having this episode, at first I was like, oh yeah, we'll just talk about like what she's building, what she's doing, what she wants to bring to the world. And here we are on January 29th, 2026. There has been a lot that has happened since we were initially supposed to have this episode. And this morning, last night, I'm still unclear. Michelle has a huge fucking story to share with us. And if we had this episode when it was initially supposed to be held and recorded, we wouldn't be experiencing what we're about to experience today. And I do want to preface that she was so excited, blowing up my phone this morning about coming here and doing this. And I'm like, tell me. And she's like, no. So I have no idea what she's about to share with us, except that it's a big fucking deal. So Michelle, if there's anything else you'd like to share about yourself, please do introduce yourself. Otherwise, just take it away, girl. Let's go.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So I will share a little bit. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be your first adult guest. When you said you had your first guest already, I was like, who's the bitch? But it was Jacob, your son.
Yes.
So
Yes.
it's a pass, obviously. But I'm so honored to be here. And I want to say how proud I am of you before I get into this whole thing. My whole body is like buzzing with excitement and this vibration that I want to share with you immediately and just completely. If we could just tap foreheads and have that download immediately, that would just be my ideal. But I'm so proud of you for everything that you have accomplished and embodied over the years, of the growth that I've seen in you as a woman, as a mom. Oh my God, you're the best freaking mom. Your kids are so lucky to fucking have you. Like, I can't. I watch you and I try to emulate you, and I just really see so much in you that maybe you don't even recognize that you do naturally. And I love you to bits.
Thank you. I say the same about you. So yes.
Thank you. I am a mom of two. I have two daughters, 12 and 10, who are the absolute freaking light of my life. I am also a career-driven woman. I have been a speech and language pathologist for 17 years now. Oh my God, I feel old. I was thinking about the number of years. It's super long. I did a decade in healthcare and then moved over to education to follow along with my kids' schedules. And of late, I have had a pull, a nudge, whatever you want to call it, intuition to shift, that I am not finding the fulfillment in my career that I always did. And it comes along with the healing journey that I have been on for my life. And that's what we started to think about talking about today. When you said, what should we talk about? It wasn't like an in-depth thing, but I said, healing yourself while you're a mom, which is a BFD. Personal background. I've been officially divorced for a year now. Can you believe that?
It feels longer. Maybe because it took forever.
It took forever. It was a 2-year-long legal process, and the marriage was 16 years. I was with him for 20, I lost count, 28, something like that. A ridiculous amount of time, since I was 15. And the healing that I have done really with this marriage, this toxic and abusive marriage as a catalyst, started with the book called The Body Keeps the Score. When it was recommended actually by our older sister, Sarah. And when I read it, I had a visceral reaction, and I kept following the nudges, the intuition to follow that healing path. And it's brought me to a lot of different people and a lot of different places that I never imagined I would be, or, people having them in my life, my circle. And I think of those people and those practices even as part of my village at this point. I love the title of your podcast, Where's the Fucking Village? Because yes, where's the fucking village? And obviously you're, a huge part of mine, but also, I think the definition of village has changed over time. I think back, 50, 75 years ago, 1950s, 1970s, whatever, that to me is the quintessential time of villageness and support of mothers and motherhood. But our needs have changed so drastically since then. Laws have changed, society has changed, politics have changed. We personally and individually, we all have changed in different ways. We're in the workforce hardcore now where we were not before. And so I think in that, the changing needs have created this sort of void where there feels like a lack of support or a lack of progress or lack of a village. And I love that you have taken this void and really started to fill it, because, what is it? What's the term? Necessity is the mother of invention.
Yes.
I think that's it. Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah. We have this new need for a different sort of village. And so you are inventing this platform and this space to build community. And I just freaking love that. So I'm like,
I know, get to the good stuff
here. Getting back to this epiphany part. This is like 4 hours old, this epiphany. It was this morning. So I woke up at 4 for no good reason. And I could do nothing but rehearse this podcast to my pillow. So I've already been through this morning. I don't know how it's going to sound on camera, but the pillow knows. And I think what changed for me and what has allowed this sort of epiphany to come through is the other night, 2 nights ago, I was on a call with a somatic coach that I hired about a year ago. And this is part of the healing process that I have gone through and part of the village, my village at this point. Her name's Erica Hepperly. She's out of LA. And so we had a coaching call, and she brought us through diaphragmatic massage, breath work, and then breast massage. And when I tell you that I felt the energy move through my body in that diaphragmatic massage, moving the fascial tissue with my own hands in my own body, the emotional release was ridiculous. And I really feel like that was a block that I moved 2 nights ago to allow this epiphany to come, this drop in, this download, if you will, all the same thing, just in different terms, right? So it's like the meaning of life.
What? Seriously?
I mean, yes. So through the teachings that I've gone through and the resources that I've tapped into between Dr. Joe and Kyra Casey and Erica Hepperly through this last year with meditation and divine change in ourselves, the thing that I keep coming back to, and the somatics, of course, as I talked about, the thing that I keep coming back to is that we are all made of energy.
Yeah.
We agree?
Yes.
Everything in the world is made of energy, and energy cannot be created or destroyed. That is a scientific fact. And I love that it's a scientific fact because there are so many parts to this theory, I guess, or we'll call it a theory, brand new, hot off the press. It's biology interacting with chemistry, interacting with spirituality, interacting with your brain and your memories and your dynamic, your personality, and the dynamics you have with other people and their beliefs and your own beliefs and limiting beliefs. Everything like spinning all at the same time and interacting with each other. As a matter of fact, great analogy that I saw yesterday, talk about divine timing, on freaking Instagram, where there was a top, like a toy top that someone put in the middle of a platform, and it was stationary, it was still. And they started to spin 3 other different tops around it. And as the spinning tops moved across the platform, they nudged the top that was still, and it kept knocking it a little bit with every nudge. And then eventually they all started spinning in the same direction. And that's how I feel all of these interactions are. That is alignment.
Yes, that's amazing.
That is alignment. And so we all are created from source, God, the universe. That is energy. That is just this insane amount of energy that has either fractured or intentionally like spouts out more of itself. And that's who we are at our core. That is our soul. That is our essence, is energy. And it aligns with the energetic chakras. It aligns with our visions and images of the soul. If you Google search images, soul ascension, you come up with the same sort of image. And it's a person, a body, kind of ethereal looking and transparent, but the center of them is glowing gold or white or blue, and it's going all the way up to source. That's us. That is us. That's us. And so we're dropped in to this 3D that is holographic. It's not real reality. It's an image, a mirror image of what we need to process through, go through our reality in order to peel away the onion-like layers of the lessons that we need to learn to reach ascension or get back home, get back to source, get back to the quantum.
Okay. Totally following.
Thank God. I'm just going to have diarrhea of the mouth and it's not going to go out right.
Okay.
So the things that we go through, our experiences, the dynamics we have with people are those mirrors, the reflections of the lessons we have to master before we get to that pure point. Andrea, when I tell you that it shifted my perception of my ex-husband.
Woo!
Oh, baby.
Oh, this is a breakthrough. This is exciting.
This is fucking real, baby. I see him this moment, and for the last 4 hours, thank you, as a pure soul, a pure energy with layers and layers of lessons that he didn't decide to go through yet. And whether he does or not in this lifetime is not up to me.
But you can see his truth, like his core. That's amazing.
Yes, that it wasn't me that he was abusing. It wasn't me that he was toxic towards, even though it was. Do you know what I mean? That was not his intent. This is my belief, my new belief anyway.
There's a book that's coming to mind that I need to see if it's on my shelf really quick.
Yeah. I can't stop. Okay. That he just has so many layers of story and experience and lesson that he needs to get through. But the outcome of that is that he's stuck in this vibration of shame and guilt and fear. And those are the most negative vibrations. And so while I was in my own system, going to therapy, tapping into resources, podcasts, books, doing EMDR, doing somatic work, doing meditation work, all of those tools that I used to peel every layer of myself off and work on the thing got me closer to my pure energy and my pure
your
soul.
ascension. Yeah.
And so the work that we have is not only those layers of lesson, but listening to ourselves in the quiet, trusting. That was another bit of my work, was trusting myself, trusting my intuition, trusting the voice inside. It is not going to steer you wrong because it is so pure. It is source.
It's you. You are source.
It's you. It's all of us. At the same time, we are all the same source.
Right. Absolutely. So, okay.
I'm blowing my own mind, Andrea.
Can I interject?
Yes.
Okay. So there's a few things that I want to share. So, okay. I'm so excited, first off, that this is happening for you. Like, fuck yes. This is a big deal because I know what you've been through.
Yeah.
I know all of it.
Mm-hmm.
And just the fact, I have goosebumps, that you are able to see him as the pure consciousness and love and source that he is on the inside is such a fucking gift for you. It is a gift for him. It's a gift for the kids. It's all of that. But like, truly, I'm so fucking excited for you, Michelle, because this will change everything. Just keep coming back to this. Keep coming back to this and remembering. I remember, okay, I'm going to be all over the place.
You're fine.
During a Dr. Joe event, there was one time, it was a walking meditation, and it was all about opening your heart and feeling like pure love for someone. And I was like, who do I have a hard time with? Like, who do I have a hard time like feeling love for? And I had a lot of hate for your ex-husband. Mm-hmm. And I did a pretty good job of like acting and whatever, but there were times where I was like, what the fuck is he? Blah, 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 right? And I was on the beach in Marco Island, and I just remember thinking to myself, Andrea, if you could open your heart and send him love, that is an accomplishment. And that I was able to do that. There was one other person as well that I'm not going to name here, but that I was able to like truly open my heart to, that I was like, they are me, I am them. Like we are all one. Like, this is what this means. And I love how you're taking it deeper and having that visual of like the onion, the layer. That's a part of like all these lessons that we're experiencing. And then at the core is our source. I love that visual because I've not thought of it that way, and really, really like that. There's a book called Your Soul's Plan. This is a book I want to refer to people all the fucking time, and I can never remember it because it looks exactly in my head like this fucking book. And this is the book the Book of Awakening. This is the one that I always think of, but this is the one I always want to refer. So this is Your Soul's Plan, discovering the real meaning of your life you planned before you were born. So there's this in this book, and truthfully, I haven't finished it, you guys. I am not a good fucking reader. I think I have slight dyslexia. It takes me forever to read. I will listen to audiobooks all day long, but reading is challenging for me. And I really wanted to read this book and not just listen to it. So it's by Robert Schwartz. He says, so often when something quote unquote bad happens, it may appear to be meaningless suffering. But what if your most difficult experiences are actually rich with hidden purpose that you yourself planned before you were born? Could it be that you chose your life circumstances, relationships, and events Within these pages, the stories of 10 different individuals like you planned before birth to experience great challenges. Working with 4 gifted mediums to channel, author Robert Schwartz discovers what they chose and why. Through these remarkable stories, the pre-birth planning you can, blah, 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 blah. So basically, it's saying that as consciousness, as souls, like before we enter the human body, we knew what we were going to agree to in this lifetime for suffering. Everyone across the board. And I fucking love the people we surround ourselves with. I think I say this all the time, but I remember being on this girls' trip to Mexico, and it was our first day there. We weren't, I don't know, we fucking walked to dinner, and I'd never fucking been to Mexico. We didn't stay on a resort. We got an Airbnb. It was like nice and beautiful. And then you step out of the Airbnb outside this little gated community, and you're like, like it was eye-opening, right? And I just remember, seeing these, I guess, pueblos is what they're called. They're like these fucking shacks. These people are living in cardboard thick shacks that they have, like, it's like villages of these shacks. And here we are, a group of, I think, 6 of us walking to get a fucking sushi dinner. And I see this little child who was walking, but still in a diaper. And he was only in his diaper down to his, I'm not even kidding you, mid calves. And I was like, my heart just fucking broke. I'm like, I'm going to get sushi. And this kid's probably in the only diaper he got all fucking day. God bless him for getting a diaper, but still. And I remember coming back after dinner, and because we walked home too, dumb, we got back safely, obviously. But I just remember having this conversation with one of my girlfriends, well, all of them, saying like, I'm having a really hard time, like actually feeling present here and all the things when I'm seeing so much suffering next door. And I'll never forget that my friend Issa said to me, she was like, it's hard to see that and important to remember that we are all just little souls walking around this earth who chose our paths in this lifetime. And I was like, oh my God, she's right. We all chose our paths, what our suffering was, our relationships, all the things. And it just changes the fucking perspective of all the things we've been through. And you might be like, why the fuck would I choose that?
Yeah.
Why would I choose X, Y, and Z?
It's all vibrational.
Say that again.
It's all vibrational. So when you have these types of lessons, and just kind of bringing it back to my ex, with the shame and the grief and the fear, those being the lowest vibrations. You can look this up too in a Google image search. I did before this, I kind of knew what I was talking about. The highest frequency is enlightenment. And what does that even mean? To me, it means authenticity. And that's part of what I have in the fire. Andrea knows. And I want a little sneak peek of that message.
Yeah, go ahead.
But authenticity is the highest. And then there's love and joy and abundance. And all of those are really high on the levels of frequencies. And so if we are completely made of energy and energy vibrates at different frequencies, then your energy pulls in and attracts, law of attraction, what you put out. Once we peel back the layers of all these life lessons that our souls have agreed to begin with, in whatever way that looks and however that happens, for me, traumatic experiences, sexual abuse, verbal abuse, psychological abuse, emotional abuse from infancy through, well, still kind of happening in some respects, dealing with and processing those emotions and those experiences in order to shed them. And that every time you shed another layer and go through another experience and process to the extent that your soul needs to, your vibrational frequency raises up and increases. You can't even you can't control it. You can't keep it down.
Yeah.
And the shift is so powerful. That's where you start to believe and embody the belief of spirit, universe, source having your back, or, as we might call it, or trusting the step before you take the step or before you see the staircase. That because we are all part of this one body of energy, this one pure source, things will fall by the wayside naturally as our vibrations raise, so that the path is then cleared. And it's the same for everything. Things like houses, cars, $1 million, children, relationships, spouses. It doesn't matter what the thing is. If it matches your frequency, it's coming in. And the higher your desire for those vibrational things, the more you need to shed to get yourself there to that purity. And the goal for life is soul ascension.
So let's talk about, is there anything more you want to add before I dig in a little bit?
Don't master the lesson, then you come back. I believe too.
I believe this too. I'm like, I'm not fucking learning this lesson again. Let me master the shit out of this. I don't want to do this in the next life.
Yes. Yeah. And so, I was thinking about death too on the way over here from my appointment. I was like, so why do babies die? Why do kids die? Because death comes because our bodies, human bodies, are mortal. There's it's a ticking time line. Eventually it gives out. But maybe for those innocent souls, they already reach ascension. Maybe they came with one lesson to learn and they do it. Or maybe they are the lesson for somebody else and their souls are then reabsorbed back up to source. But that is the goal.
Yeah, I was going to say that often, I think too, it's the soul contracts, the agreements that we have with other people that they are coming into our lives and fulfilling. So if, God forbid, someone loses a child, I would never wish that on anyone. That's a part of the soul contracts that they are fulfilling that role for us. That's a tough one, but unfortunately a real reality. Okay, so let's talk anything more.
No, not
okay.
Right now.
So let's talk about, because this is exciting, and I am hopeful that you're open to this conversation.
Yeah.
Because through the process of the divorce, there were some not so pretty times.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So talking about like this whole thing of like the lessons, and you can't not shed them, and you can't not ascend and higher your frequency. But I also feel that so many people are walking around feeling like, give me my onion back. I don't want to shut this. This is my norm. Keep this here. I know how to be angry. I know how to hate people. I know how to be vengeful, right? Like people need to also be willing, ready, and able to let those fucking layers go.
Yes. So I would love to talk about that. This is part of the interaction of all of those tops spinning together, because when we have a familiar situation, our natural inclination as humans is to maintain that, even if it's toxic. And that's part of what I did in my humanness through my marriage. And even when I did start to realize and work on my self-worth and those types of things in my healing process, it took me a really long time to get to the point of taking the leap, if you will, to ask for the divorce, to really just state, I didn't really ask for being real, but then to later file after mediation didn't work and take those courageous steps into the unknown. It is so courageous because it is the unknown, but that's where unlimited possibility lies. In the unknown.
Yes, and it's like every step you took into the unknown brought you closer and closer to where you are today. So if you could think back to those days for a moment, not that I like to go into the past per se, but like if someone else is going through this, right, and maybe it's divorce, maybe it's, I don't know, anything. They got laid off, whatever. Like if there's something that they are going through and they're having such a fucking hard time letting go of the layers, seeing the lesson in it, getting to that higher frequency and staying in the lower frequencies, like what would you say to them that helped you in those moments when you were like in the shit?
Like not wanting to be here anymore.
Yeah, that's the shit. Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty shitty. I would say, grace. Giving yourself grace might be one of the most impactful things. The grace for imperfection, grace for a timeline that it's taking longer than you want it to, grace for mistakes. We do have, there are, psychological processes that we go through as humans. There are emotional processes that we go through, and they take time to process in different ways. I also firmly believe in tapping into the resources that you can. And that could be people and places in your village. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And those people will show up in different ways for you. You might have to reach out to somebody.
You might have to hire somebody.
Yes, you might
Like
have to hire somebody. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that was something for a long time. I didn't have that financial resource for myself. I had to wait for it. I was working 7 days a week so that I could make ends meet for the apartment that I was in when I first left the house. And there was no support. We're still in the thick of everything. And that it was just financially very, very difficult at the time. And so the things that I did at first didn't cost anything. I gave myself, again, time. There were a couple days in there that I did not get out of bed.
Yeah.
I did not. And one time I even had the kids with me, and I gave myself grace to have that happen, that I needed the rest. I needed the comfort. I needed that attention from myself. And, they were old enough that I could say, watch TV. And I gave myself grace for them watching TV for a whole freaking day.
Yeah.
And warming up a waffle and, things like that. Ideal parenting? Absolutely not. My standard? Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Also, allowing that space for myself to take the time and do what I needed for myself. I would take a bath. I would listen to music. I would listen to meditations, and all of those things were free or low cost. And then once I did have the means to hire and attend conferences and retreats and things like that, I did. And last year, and at your recommendation, your very wise recommendation, going to
very persistent recommendation. I'm like, wow.
It only took a few years to go to a Dr. Joe event, and how perfectly it lined up. Do you remember?
Yeah, it was wild.
It was
so cool.
Wild. I'm a teacher at this point, working in the schools, still in SLP. And this event landed on April vacation and the 10-day retreat with visitation. I was supposed to have the kids every other weekend, but because of how Easter fell that year, he had them for 2 weekends in a row. So I did not miss 1 minute of my children. On the schedule that we had in our parenting schedule. Otherwise, in any other year, any other situation, I would have missed like 3 days with them, and I wouldn't have gone. I wouldn't do that. That's too much time for me to miss. I only have them half time anyway.
Yeah.
That would have been a hard no. And it was opened up for me.
Yeah.
I used credit card points to book the flight.
Yep.
And then you hooked me up with a roommate to cut costs on that. It fell into place so beautifully. I could not
effortlessly
say no. But also, I had to get over my fear, because I could have let fear and of the unknown and anxiety over finances. Yes, it cost less because of XYZ, but it was an investment.
Yeah.
But I did it. And it was a pivotal moment in my healing, pivotal moment in my life, and led me to so many other avenues and resources. I had a different somatic coach before Erica, and we worked on some really kind of minimal things, but it was opening a door. And I saw the value of working on my body and somatics and releasing energy and emotions that way, which I had never tried before.
Yeah.
Taking the time, I went out to having Erica as a coach was also a huge investment. Working on business things, another big investment, things that were on my heart, dreams that started to pop up and percolate because of the space that I was creating with this healing.
Yeah.
Following that. And I still am following that. It's leading to more open doors because I'm making more space for these things. Traveling to LA by myself, essentially creating another week-long healing retreat, party of one, where I had a one-on-one session with Erica. I went to a womb healing session with her. I had myofascial release, which was ridiculous. I had a lymphatic drainage massage. I went to a sound bath. I did sauna. I did everything.
Yeah.
Investing in myself.
Yeah.
And that was not my default, I'll say, before. And it has been a huge shift in the right direction for me to tap into the resources that I could when I could.
Yeah. And I think it's exciting the girls are able to see this evolution of you as well at the age that they are and kind of like fully understand, but like have a better understanding, you know, and see you standing up for yourself, having boundaries, but also like see your ascension and how I can almost guarantee that you will be having different interactions with him moving forward because you're able to see him as his highest self.
Yes.
Even though, like you said, he's not there yet. There are layers, right? We all have layers. I'm not there yet.
Yes.
And I think that that's amazing and will be really impactful for the girls to see that as
absolutely. Well. I feel like the things that I used to perceive as these like poison darts coming at me from him are now like crumpled leaves in the wind. And his core is there. And we obviously had a soul contract.
Yeah.
To
100%
find each other, be together that long and go through this whole process. And maybe it was so that I could have this download today. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's changing everything. It's changing everything. I'm so
excited. That's amazing. I can't believe you could like held that back from me.
I was like purposely just texting and not calling because
I know. She's like, I'm so excited for this podcast. I was like, okay, like this is a lot. But the amount of time she said it, I was like, okay, me too. Yes, me.
I knew you were like, yeah, it's gonna be great.
Well, yeah, great. Yeah, it's gonna be great. Finally,
you don't understand.
I'm ready to shout from the rooftops. Oh, this is so exciting. I am so proud of you for all that you have done. You have been someone that I've looked up to for my entire fucking life and wouldn't be the woman I am today without you, truly. You have taught me so much and I just fucking applaud you for all you've been through, but the growth and the openness you have to your next level self. I think that it's amazing. And, you know, one of the things that you had said, you're like, you're an amazing mother to me. And I'm like, I have my moments, right? Like I have like, I'm like, am I amazing? I don't know.
Yes.
I'm a good mom. Yes. I don't know about amazing, right? But I feel like we all have that inner critic of self and just to reflect back to you as well. I think that it's amazing that, like I said, the girls are getting to see this in you and you're leading them in a way that if you had, for whatever reason, chosen to stay, would not be leading them through in this lifetime.
100%. I want to get back to, I know we're going to finish up soon, but this will be another podcast. I'm coming back.
Okay. You can be my second guest too.
The inner critic.
Yes.
The inner critic. We have to break that down. We have to break it apart. Everyone has it, I know, but we need to.
Yeah. Well, I feel like that will enter in like Issa's conversation of the signal. I should have her on and well, that's a whole nother thing, but
yes.
Yeah.
So exciting. Thank you for letting me share this.
I'm so excited. Thanks for coming on and sharing it. You shared a lot. This is exciting.
Yeah. TM. Nobody take this. It's mine.
No one else can be attention and divine. Yeah.
Intent for use. Is that the legal term?
So funny. I love it. What are you going to TM? The onion?
The concept.
Anything else that you want to share before we wrap up?
No, I think that's it for now. This is
Yeah.
now I'm like a kind of
Okay, good.
coming down a little bit and got to process and integrate and
Yes. And we will totally have you back on for more. And the more depth and clarity you get around this, you can come back on and give us more or start your own podcast. Who knows?
I mean, both.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
All right. Thank you. Love you.
Thanks for being on. Thank you for tuning into this episode of Where's the Fucking Village? I hope that you found some insight in this, maybe something that was helpful for you on your way to your soul's ascension. I will link everything in the show notes that we mentioned today. And if you have any questions, of course, you can always reach out. And I cannot wait for the next episode. See you there.
You've been listening to Where's the Fucking Village, the podcast for moms raising babies and building empires. You were never meant to do this alone.